First, I want to talk to you about the law of attraction. And this is what creates everything, although we don't realize it. Unconsciously it's going on, but it's not brought into our consciousness. And you heard the old, we've said, whatever you put out, you get back. Well, that's exactly what the law of attraction is. And it's just like gravity. You can't see it, smell it, taste it. You don't know it's there, but it's always working. Whether we know it or not, or believe it or not, the law of attraction is always working. So everything we have in our life is a representation of what we're thinking and speaking and feeling. So we have situations in our lives that we like. We're feeling good about those. And we have situations in our life, areas that we don't like so much. And we're down here with that. And we keep attracting more of that to that one, and more of this to this one, because of the way we think and the way we speak. All these wonderful things are meeting with you, because the law of attraction is like, there's a beautiful idea, and another beautiful idea comes in and attaches to it, and then another beautiful idea comes in and attaches to that, because it can't help itself. It's the law of attraction, and it's always working, always. So when you have these beautiful thoughts, you notice, boy, I'm having a great day. Then something else good happens, boy, this is a really great day. And you also notice when your energy's down here and you're not having a good day, traffic's bad, people are in your way. It's not because of them. It's because of you. And that's the part we'll talk about. But what do they really want? They want security. They want to know that they're going to feel safe for their whole life. They want to know that everything's going to be good, that they can have a lifestyle maybe that they'd like to have, a little more freedom. So, the difference between what you want and what you really want is, I want to go home equates to I want to be with my family. I want to be with my family equates to, I'm going to get to be with them pretty soon because they are coming out here. So that's awesome. And as soon as these bills are paid off, because I'm working in a really good direction for my family, then I'm going to be with them, and we're going to feel good because we have this debt cleared, right? So that's the whole idea.
Hi, and welcome to Rocky Mountain Views. I'm your host, Martha Thompson. As you just heard, the law of attraction is always working. So I wanted to know a little bit more about it and consulted an expert, Sandy Noll, of What Do You Really Want?
Hi, Martha.
Hey, thanks so much for being here.
I'm so glad you invited me to come.
It's great. How did you find out about the law of attraction? I mean, what is it? Have you always known about it? Did you start at some point to do some deep research? Tell me about that.
Well, I've kind of always been familiar with it, but not as the law of attraction, more as, I'm noticing what I'm thinking or what I'm saying is showing up in my life. So I started noticing that, and then I started working with it and paying attention to it and reading more information, getting more information, and what it turns out to be is I'm more of a natural manifester than I realize. We all are, but when we focus on it, you can really use that law of attraction to bring things into your life that you're wanting.
And it seems almost like a good thing, bad thing, because if you're not aware of it and we take a look at our lives, we're responsible then.
That's right. The law of attraction always works. It's spiritual law. It's always working. It's like gravity, like you saw in the video. Mm-hmm. And what happens is we're not conscious of what we're thinking or what we're talking about. We go through our days, and it's pretty much the same thing every day. And if we're used to being in a complaining mode, we kind of live in that area. And how the law of attraction works is like this. If I'm complaining, and the law of attraction says, I love you, and you're complaining, so we're going to attract more complaining to you.
Oh.
So what happens is, instead of the complaint stopping, as we are hoping with our words, we're actually just continuing to bring more of it on.
Wow, okay, that explains a lot. Now, those are the things, though, those are actions that we're taking or words that we're putting out. Could you talk about the self-talk, that voice that's in our heads that, we just hear all day? All of us are talking all day long without moving our lips. What is the importance of that voice and knowing what that's saying?
Well, your thoughts, everything has vibration, and this is how the law of attraction works, is obviously through vibration.
Okay.
Our thoughts have vibration, our words have vibration, our feelings have vibration. So as we're using that vibration in our communication, our thoughts, we're thinking things, and we're thinking driving down the road, I wish these cars would get out of my way.
Right.
This is how my mind is working. And the reason why I'm doing that is because inside me, I'm angry.
Okay.
So as I'm driving down the road, I am attracting more traffic that's going to keep me in an angry zone.
Right.
This is
okay.
what I'm thinking. So this is what's happening. Now, if I wake up and say, what's going on around me? Wow, I'm attracting all this awful traffic. What is it about me I need to change? Because when I'm happy and feeling good, the lights are green, the traffic flows, it's all easy. Everything's easy and effortless. But when my mind is or thinking negative thoughts, I'm going to attract all that negativity right back to me because the thoughts are so powerful.
So that means that those random bad days, where it's just a bad day, or a really great day, that's not just happening.
We're creating all of it. And this is what is really interesting about the law of attraction. Once it gets conscious for you, because it's going on unconsciously,
Right.
once it gets conscious for you, then you're thinking, oh, I'm responsible for all my experiences, for how I feel, for what's going on in my life. So I need to change me in order to make my experiences better, more comfortable, loving, whatever it is I want to bring into my life. And when we get conscious of that, we are creating our whole life. It stops the blaming other people. You know, before I really got into this, I would blame my husband, my son, my boss, my kid,
Right.
friends for everything that was wrong. If they would only change, I would be okay. And the truth was, it's all from in here. So as I do the changing, my outside experiences change, and all the people in my life alter a little bit as well. We are very powerful creators. We just don't know it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, your course, and I've taken Sandy's, or I'm actually right now taking Sandy's course. I've completed the first 2 classes, and there'll be 2 following that. It's called What Do You Really Want? Which, Sandy, sounds like a very easy to answer question, but it's not.
No, it's not, and it's really interesting because I ask a lot of people, through the classes and different venues, what do you want? And most people say, I don't know.
Right.
And what happens is, of course, because the law of attraction is always working, it gives you back more of, I don't know. So we stay in a constant flux of, I don't know what I want. The difference between what I want and what I really want is a difference in how you feel when you answer that question.
Okay.
Now, if you say, what do I want? And it's like, here's an example. When I first got into the law, learning about this law of attraction, I didn't have a car. And I thought, well, I'm going to try this. So I didn't have any money at that time in my life, you know how life is.
Right.
And I thought, oh, well, I'm going to try this. And I asked for I asked for a free car. And I thought, well, I'm going to try it. I'm asking for a free car. And a couple of days later, a friend of mine who was a car dealer, used car dealer, called me and said, listen, Sandy, I know you need a car, and I have one on my back lot. You can have it if you want to. And I went, oh,
No kidding.
a free car. And so I went to get it, and it was a Mustang. It was very older, and when I opened the door, the only seat in it was the driver's seat. The inside was completely ripped out. It was all trashed on the inside. And then I understood one thing. I needed to ask for a good free car. I needed to put more into it, because what we put out comes back identical. So the next time I started to practice with this, I asked, put more in that. Oh, what do you want? Well, I want a car, and I want it to have 4 doors, and I want, and just put the detail in there. So knowing the law of attraction is going to bring it back to me, it'll bring me back what I'm wanting, and it brought me that free car, which was what I was wanting, but it was an interesting experience.
That's perfect. Now, one thing that I know about in watching you in the workshop and in the class, folks, Sandy has this ability to seemingly laser in on that person and figure out what it is that they really want, not the surface level want, the real want behind it. How do you do that?
Martha keeps telling me how amazed she is at, how do you do that? How do you do that? And it's, I don't know. I don't think I'm doing it. You know, being part of a spiritual intuitive, I get a little guidance there, but I'm able to hear what people don't say is part of it. And I also know that it's about peeling a layer off. It's about what's under that layer. What are we really wanting? You know, you can throw an example out there and somebody will say, it may be someone that says, well, I'd really like to lose 20 pounds.
Okay.
And that's a good one. I have a lot of women come and they want to get their bodies better. And what I know is this. I want to lose 20 pounds, and the law of attraction says, I love you. Here's more of I want to lose 20 pounds.
Oh, for heaven's
sake. So
the
20 pounds never comes off. It's just that constant wanting. So what we say is, well, that's what they want. And we turn it into, well, what do you really want? Right. What do you really want? What would be the goal of losing 20 pounds? Well, you want maybe a beautiful, healthy, strong, attractive body, right? So the law of attraction will respond to that, and you'll start noticing your body changing. Another thought will come in with that idea, and you'll decide that you want to eat a salad instead of a cheeseburger.
Okay,
you know,
that makes sense.
Yes, and so that's how you get to, you know, it's just an ability. I don't know what it is, but, you know.
I don't know, but it's wonderful.
Understanding what people, you know, really want, because I can see what they're constantly saying, and that's what they're always going to get back. So it's about changing the way we think about what we are wanting. Because wanting to lose something like 20 pounds is like, I want to lose 20 pounds, and you can feel it. I want to lose 20 pounds, feels like this. And if you say, well, I want a healthy, attractive, strong body, boy, doesn't that feel better?
It does.
So when we're raising our vibration to what we really want, the law of attraction is coming in on that vibration that we are on always. So when we're at a higher vibration, we're going to get those things we want and love much easier.
Oh, that makes tons of sense. Now, one of the things that I wanted to discuss with you today is that I've been talking to people that I know about this and what you do, and there seems to be a misconception out in the world about what the law of attraction really is. In other words, trying to talk to God like he's Santa Claus, or people who are being selfish or materialistic. But I don't think that is at all what the law of attraction really is, at least my understanding at this point. And I know that it's not what you teach. So how does that come about, that it's just seen as a superficial pursuit?
The law of attraction is working no matter what anybody's thinking. So if somebody, let me go back a minute.
Okay.
There's a lot of books out there that talk about the law of attraction. They talk about, and they're all good, because it wakes people up and makes them aware that there is this spiritual law that's always working, like gravity.
Right.
You can't see it, touch it, taste it, feel it. It's always working. What happens is, when we read the books, The Secret's a great book. It's a great example by Rhonda Byrne.
Okay.
What happens is, we put out there something, you're thinking, I want a mansion. I want a mansion. For whatever reason, that's what you are believing that you're wanting. Maybe you want a larger house, maybe you want, it doesn't matter what it is you're wanting. The law of attraction is going to bring that to you. So people that are highly successful, that have wealth, that have a lot of material things, it's because that's where their consciousness is. They're drawing it to them. Now, someone that doesn't have that and wishes for it can get there, but it may take a little time. Now, the difference between what's in you read in a book and if you take the class or whatever it is, there's a process to the law of attraction and how to get to discovering what I really want, which is a little bit of a task sometimes.
It can be.
And then walking through the process of it. Because after practicing this for a while, when you realize you're thinking off and you're attracting something you're not really wanting, you can self-correct. But for a long time, it's difficult to change that way of thinking.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. And what I've picked up on when you've been talking to people in the course is that although someone may start off with a superficial request, when you peel back those layers of the onion, there is depth behind it. It's just hard for us to articulate or even access sometimes.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And it's difficult because we've thought the same way for so long. We
Right.
have that same thought pattern in our mind, and we don't even know what we're doing because it hasn't been challenged. Once it's challenged, you say, oh, wow, I'd like to think something different because this is not what I want anymore.
Got it. One of the things that's really made me smile in listening to some of the things that people want is in changing other people. So I'm fine. I need you to teach me how to change my spouse. I'm fine, but I need you to change my boss. Talk to me about that.
Thank you, Martha. That's a good one. You can't change anybody else through the law of attraction. But this is the thing. It's difficult for us to take a look at ourselves and tell the truth about ourselves. We don't
Yes.
want to look that close at ourselves. So it's easier to reflect that on someone else and say, well, if they change, then I'll be okay. And so we want every experiences on the outside to be different so that we'll feel good.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't work. It doesn't work because it's like herding cats. You might get this one person change, but then these people are all off and you can't do it.
Okay.
So when you change yourself, which is where the power lies, then you're going to have the experiences that you want, and you don't need to change anybody else. They're going to alter because you're different. It's like dancing with a
Okay.
partner. When one partner changes the dance step, the other partner has to change the dance step too.
Okay. Okay. All right. That
So I don't
finally
know
makes
if that-
sense.
Does that?
Now you hold a workshop at
Mhm.
Celebrations Bookstore
Mhm.
in Colorado Springs.
Yes.
And then you have your 4-week course
Yes.
that you offer.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about what people could expect from the workshop and what they can expect from taking the course?
Yes. The workshop at Celebration is the third Wednesday of every month from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And what that is an hour and a half, kind of like I'd say a taste of what do you really want. I talk about the law of attraction. I talk about the process of the law of attraction, which is asking, believing, and receiving. And people say, oh, I can do that. That's easy. And I say, well, if you could, then why does your life look like that? You know, so you are doing it, but you're not getting what you want.
Right.
That's a little taste of what do you really want. And I try to work with people in the workshop to get them started on thinking about what they really want instead of just what they want. You know, what do you really want?
Right.
You know, I really want a house. Okay, what kind of house do you want? And then start picturing it. The more you can picture what it is you're wanting, the clearer vision you're giving to the law of attraction, to the universe, and it can draw that right. You'll draw that right into your life. Simple little things like you'll be thinking of somebody and they'll call you right away, and people go, wow, that's a coincidence.
All the time.
That's a powerful law of attractor. You know, that's what's really going on there.
And in the course, then, what are they doing?
In the classes, it's 4 weeks, an hour and a half roughly each time. And we start off with determining what everybody really wants. I mean, work with everyone in the class individually pretty much,
Right.
and get from what they want to what they really want. And then from there, we walk through what is happening in their life as they're moving into what they're really wanting. Because they'll see that their thoughts are starting to change. Now I have a brand new idea of what I really want. And so we teach how to focus on that, how to write about it, how to speak about it, how to put yourself in your vision of what you're wanting. And over a 4-week class, anything that gets in the way will pop up, because we all have things in the way. I call it that shot from the universe direct to me. There'll be things in the way like anger, jealousy, resentments, those kind of things that we're harboring. We don't really pay attention to them. But when we're going through the process in the classes of what do you really want, this old idea pops up and says, well, what are you thinking? You can't have that. You've always had this. Stay here. And those are the voices we've gotten from childhood, from our friends, from society, that say, you know, you're not good enough, you can't have this. We all have those things.
We
So
do.
Really,
it's not going to happen.
right.
It's just not
It's
going to
just not
happen.
going to happen, so why should I bother to ask?
Right.
So what I try to do is encourage people, yes, it will happen. Move in that direction. Be excited about it. I'm supporting this with you, which is important. You want as much energy in as you can get.
Yes.
And at the end of the 4-week class, it's unbelievable. People are like, oh my God, you can't believe this. I got exactly what I wanted. This is coming in. My whole life is different. And that's the part that I love the most, is seeing the change that happens to people that are participating in What Do You Really Want.
It's great. And you limit the number of students in the class.
Yes, yes.
Which I really like. And you've also made it to be a really safe place, because when we're talking about these things, we do go in depth.
Yes, we do. We do go in depth, and I keep the classes really small so they are intimate and we can feel comfortable, because a lot of times things are revealed that are very personal, and we're holding that all in a sense of love and light and safety for everyone, so that you are comfortable talking about what's going on, so that we can work through those maybe little or large challenges to move that block out of the way, so that that energy for what you really want can come into you.
And you can speak the truth.
And you can speak the truth, yeah. And I think that's what's really important, is getting people in touch with the truth about themselves. Because until you do that, you're not going to know what you want, what you really want.
Well, I love it, and I'm thrilled to be a part of your class.
Oh, I love that you're there, Martha. It's great.
It's wonderful. I'm getting
It's
so
great.
much out of it, and I thank you so much for being here with us today.
Well, thank you, Martha, so much for inviting me. I certainly appreciate it.
In just a moment, you'll be hearing from 3 former students of Sandy's and talking about all that they've learned and how their lives have changed from taking her course.
So the first night of our seminar, she had us write down what it is we really want and share with the group. And what I said was, I want to be powerfully self-employed as a clairvoyant medium and healer. And it was just so magical to me, because that started to really come forward in my life. It was amazing because a training came forward that I didn't even know existed by a woman who is a world-renowned psychic medium. I applied for her training. I knew in my heart I belonged there, but I still didn't really know if I was going to make it or not. And I was accepted into the training. I passed the training, and then I was even accepted onto this woman's website as one of her preferred readers. And this all happened within a few short months. This all began last January, I believe. So it's really been an amazing ride. Now half of my work at this point is the clairvoyant mediumship work, which is pretty amazing considering I started with pretty much nothing professionally. And we're now currently in a class with Sandy, an advanced course, where I am personally refining how I want to see my career look from here on out into the future. So it's been an amazing experience, and really the thing that I would bring forward is that what you really want also wants you. You know, it's like God wants you to have this for yourself. God would not have given me the gift if I was not meant to take it forward into the world.
So I originally started doing What Do You Really Want probably about 3.5 to 4 years ago. I originally started the process because I had read all the law of attraction books out there. I had noticed that I did have this ability to start manifesting some of the small things, some of the things I guess we take for granted a little bit, and then I realized I was manifesting them consciously. And right around the time I started to realize that these books were working, yet they weren't working for me in the sense where I can manifest the big things and really walk through the process of manifesting some of the life's larger things and my heart's true desire. My personal life was in shambles, my business life was in shambles, and I needed some wind in my sails. And right about that time is when I met Sandy, and I started taking her What Do You Really Want classes individually. I took about 2 years worth of individual classes. And in that process, what Do You Really Want really showed me was how to manifest life's larger things and my heart's true passions, and not just a parking spot at the mall or that perfect way to cash out at Walmart. And the process was very difficult and very hard, and one of the things that Sandy did so well that I loved so much that really worked was she really kind of takes your hand and walks you through the very difficult, hard blocks that come up in the process of manifesting what it is that your heart truly, truly desires.
We finished the first 4 weeks. Now I guess it's been about 3 months. We finished the first 4 weeks. We've gone on. And I can't even begin to tell you what's been happening in my business and in my life. We really discovered what I really wanted. Had nothing to do with my business. But it's so overwhelming and so big for me at this time that I've just kind of put it on the universe's to-do list because I can't handle it. So it's up there and I'm going to do the rest. I found myself accepting an offer to create a line for the Air Force Academy, their Association of Graduates, for a new jewelry line. I had no clue how I was going to do that. I had never done it before. But Sandy said, don't worry, what is it you really want? I started putting it out there. I found a teacher, and through that teacher I found one of the top casting facilities here in Colorado Springs. That line is now a reality. I got a text from a dear friend of mine asking me to do a bracelet for one of his dear friends who is a huge music star. I don't know how that happened. I just got the text. My daughter is over in Ireland. I wanted to go visit her. And I looked on my books and there was some workshop, May 30th, right smack dab in the middle of when I wanted to go. Had no clue who this person was. Didn't even remember writing it down. Called and she said, well, now remember, we have a budget to work with. And I thought, oh great, budgets. Okay, it's going to be like $20 per person. So I said, well, remind me of what the budget is. And she said, well, the budget is, well, let me see what the client said. Oh, no more than $250 per person. I about fainted. The most I've ever gotten per person at a workshop is $125. Needless to say, I'm not going to Ireland during that time, but hopefully I will at another time. Things just kind of happen. My teacher that's teaching me a new jewelry technique, I was explaining this to her and she goes, how does this happen to you? How do you get this? And all of a sudden she goes, you must just be one of those people. And at that moment it dawned on me, no, this is the law of attraction. And it's because of Sandy that she helped me remember what I've maybe always known, but I forgot.